Welcome back to another Explainer. You know, I am absolutely thrilled you're hanging out with us today because we are looking at something I know so many of you have been waiting for. We're talking about the upcoming long weekend beach forecast for Oak Island, covering everywhere from Yo-Pon all the way down to the Point. But we aren't just going to rattle off the numbers today. We're actually going to break down the fascinating coastal science behind those numbers so you know exactly what to expect and, more importantly, why it's happening the second your toes hit the sand.
We are diving straight into the highly anticipated weather and surf data for this July 31st through August 2nd long weekend. Today is all about understanding that delicate balance between calm, moderate, and dangerous surf, which are all completely driven by the weekend's specific meteorological conditions.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for the briefing. First, the weekend forecast. Second, the sea breeze shield. Third, beach flags explained. And finally, ocean and sun safety. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the weekend forecast.
So, looking at the weekend at a glance, courtesy of the National Weather Service in Wilmington, Friday starts us off right with pristine, sunny skies and a high of 86. But Saturday is actually predicted to be one of the absolute best days of the entire summer. We're looking at mostly sunny skies with a high near 84. And here's the real secret to why it's going to feel so amazing. The dew points are going to stay at 70 degrees or less. That means it won't have that typical oppressive, muggy summer feel at all. Just incredibly comfortable. Now, Sunday brings partly sunny skies and a 50% chance of showers, with those dew points creeping just above 70. But hold on to your beach chairs, because that definitely isn't the whole story.
Punching in on Friday's high of 86 degrees real quick. When you combine that temperature with the incredibly light winds we're forecasting, you get an absolutely ideal beach day. It's warm enough for the water, but comfortable enough to just hang out on the sand all day long. In fact, it's pretty much the perfect setup to head over to the Friday Summer Concert Series at 6:30 p.m. featuring Crystal and Aria. And speaking of the water, this leads us perfectly into the ocean temperature. The water right now is sitting in the mid-80s. Notice how perfectly that matches our ambient air temperature? When the air and water temperatures are this closely aligned, it creates just incredibly comfortable swimming conditions. You literally won't get that initial shock when you dive into the waves. It's going to feel completely seamless.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Sea Breeze Shield.
I absolutely love this concept, and it's why you shouldn't necessarily cancel your Sunday plans. Let's look at Rob's meteorologist's view on this. Sea breeze rain shielding is a dynamic that essentially protects Oak Island from heavy storms. As big weather systems move toward the coast, onshore winds create this unique boundary right at the shoreline that acts like a literal invisible wall.
And this brilliantly illustrates what that means for you. Because of this sea breeze shielding, radar often shows heavy thunderstorms hitting inland areas, but then completely dissipating right as they reach Oak Island. You can literally have torrential downpours just 5 to 10 miles inland while you stay completely dry on the sand. So for Sunday, Rob predicts those afternoon showers will actually be kept inland by the onshore winds, with rain chances likely holding off for the beach until overnight into early Monday. You know, always keep an eye on the sky, but it's pretty cool knowing the island has this natural defense mechanism.
All right, Section 3, Beach Flags Explained.
So Oak Island Water Rescue flies these standard warning flags right in front of their station on SC 49th Street. And pro tip, you can even check them via their live webcam before you leave the house. Let's contrast the two most common ones. A green flag indicates no known significant risk. That means a low probability of rip and longshore currents and just generally calm surf. A yellow flag, however, means there's a moderate risk. If you see yellow, you can definitely still venture in, but you really need to limit your water depth to your knees and actively look out for strong ocean currents.
Now, based on the National Weather Service data for this weekend, we are predicting really calm green flag conditions with a low rip current risk. But it is absolutely crucial to remain vigilant. Life-threatening currents still occur in your structures all the time, so standard pier safety is a must. Always keep your distance from the pilings, swim near a lifeguard whenever possible, and remember that conditions can change rapidly. Just because a danger isn't expected doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, Ocean and Sun Safety. First and foremost here, the National Weather Service has issued a very high UV index warning for the area this weekend. This is critical, guys. Unprotected skin will be damaged and can burn incredibly quickly. The absolute most intense sun exposure happens between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. If you're out on the sand during those hours, you really must take extra precautions. Seek shade and cover up. To combat this, the town of Oak Island has some specific practical heat safety recommendations. You need to hydrate constantly. Drink plenty of water and try to avoid alcoholic beverages since they just dehydrate you faster. Apply SPF 30 or higher sunscreen every 2 hours without fail. Wear lightweight, loose-fitting clothes. And pay special attention to this next point. The sand itself gets scorching hot. Please keep your pets and small children off the sand during the absolute peak heat of the day. And hey, one very specific local rule to remember. Oak Island enforces a strict 12-inch sand hole ordinance. For the safety of people walking and for emergency vehicles, you absolutely must fill in any holes deeper than 12 inches before you pack up and leave the beach.
To add another vital layer to your safety plan, I want to highlight an amazing resource on the island. Through this really great ongoing partnership with the Jack Heldbig Memorial Foundation, the town of Oak Island provides water safety stations that contain rescue tubes at all 65 of their public beach access locations. These are there for emergencies. Just know where they are when you set up your spot for the day. It's just smart planning.
So, the crucial point is this. We have a stunning weekend ahead of us. To summarize the official forecast, we're looking at mid-80s for both air and water temperatures, incredibly comfortable dew points under 70, mostly sunny skies for Friday and Saturday, a low rip current risk, and a very high UV index. And remember, if you see clouds building on Sunday, that sea breeze shield just might keep your beach day completely dry while the mainland gets a wash. We've covered the data, the coastal science, and the safety protocols to empower you with exactly what you need to know. Now, the rest is up to you. How will you apply this forecast to safely enjoy your time on the sand this weekend? Have an absolutely fantastic time on Oak Island. Stay hydrated, respect the ocean, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.